Selfishness has a very bad rap, you know? You'll notice a lot of people will tell you, oh, you know, don't be mean, don't be selfish, don't be harsh. But those are all the connotations of the word selfish, because the meanings of words, they change over time. But if you actually look at the word without emotion, it's not often that I recommend to do things without emotion, but just look at the word rationally, well, it's ishi of the self. Putting yourself at the top of the list. I was talking about this on my video yesterday after on the walk back from my therapy session, and beautifully uplifting walks. And there's something beautifully uplifting about putting yourself at the top of the list, because you'll notice that the people who tell you to not be selfish are always the ones that get very, very annoyed when they don't get their way. And the thing is, you can take it as rote that that's basically everybody. We all want our way. I've talked about this a lot, and there's nothing wrong with wanting your way, but I think a lot of people use it as an excuse to behave pretty nastily, you know? And they will always tell you that you can't, but we'll always witness them doing exactly what they're telling you not to do. Hypocritical, in my view. But during the therapy session yesterday, my therapist came out with this really fantastic phrase. And in fact, we couldn't quite place where it had come from, but we both heard it. And it's the title of a book. And it's "The Body Always Keeps the Score." So if you are going to live an empowered life, well, you have to be acting in your own best interest. And we're not taught to do that at all. We're taught to do the opposite. We're always taught to appeal to authority, make sure that other people are always getting what they want, but never ourselves. Well, and think about it. Powers that be, who want to control everything, whoever they are, they don't want self-determined, proactive people. The whole education system is set up, completely outdatedly, of course, now, but the whole education system is set up to make sure that you comply, that you're a good little boy, you know, that you don't cause too much trouble. And of course, it makes weaklings of us, particularly of men. And what I observe now that I've been split from my ex for just over 3 months is the extent to which I have subjugated myself to other people. So there's definitely a place for selfishness. You know, I have to kind of make a joke out of these things, because for me, it's so ingrained within me to make sure that other people are okay. It's such an instinct, frankly. I'm going to turn around and show you. There's a tractor coming along the road, but you see that house in the background there. 6 acres of land. And I think it's sold for over £3 million. I think it's one of the largest houses in the area. But don't be afraid of going after what it is that you want. Don't be afraid of living in a really big way. And I tweeted this morning, it's just gone out, but we're never at 100% in all of the areas of our life. Life is a quest. It's a process of becoming all the time. You can never have all of the dials cranked up to 11, because I witness people and live life healthily, because I see people, and youngsters obviously, then go to the gym every single day, and I challenge people to show me an example of people who do that, who don't end up with some hideous injury or some lifelong affliction that they can't redeem themselves from. I've yet to see an example where that happens. And we mock words like moderation and balance because it's like, oh, you're not going in 150,000 billion%, and you're just like a weakling, you're a loser. It's like, well, no, I'd like to enjoy my life as well as achieve things, and you can do both, but always understand that you can never get anything perfect. So there are going to be times when you're acting in your self-interest, where there are going to be people around you, and they may be really close people to you as well. Remember this. No two people are exactly the same. There are going to be people around you who won't like what you're doing. They won't agree, but you can still choose to be peaceful and joyful and agree that there are going to be certain, with people around you, there are going to be certain parameters that you can agree upon, and you can live life in harmony, but you're not necessarily going to agree with people all the time. It's just not possible. It's not possible, which is why you have to act in your own best interests, because if you don't, you're always going to be compromising your soul. You're always going to be compromising what it is that you want to do, your mission, your unique vision in the world. It's funny. There's this chap that I follow on Twitter, and he uses Grok quite a lot, which is one of these AI, generation tools. And he posted a response to him asking Grok, weird name, isn't it? But anyway, it's memorable, to roast him, to kind of sum up what he does online. And they're amusing, and I asked him to do the same thing. And part of mine was that you're talking about people living their full purpose in life, and some people just can't decide whether to set the alarm for the morning. And I just thought it was quite funny, actually. And I realised, maybe lighten things up a little bit. Maybe have a little bit more of a laugh online with what I put out. And it's lighthearted and it's fun, and that's what it should be like. We words like selfish, they have a huge weight to them, and it makes us reluctant to put ourselves at the top of the list, because we think, oh God, that's really grave, that's really serious, and what are people going to think? Nah, it's just a daily approach to things, my friend. Daily approach to living life in a beautiful, expansive, open way, getting what it is that you want, because that is acceptable. It's just as acceptable as other people getting what they want. And sometimes there are clashes, which is why good communication is key to good relationships. And if you can't have open communication and honesty, then I think you know what I'm going to say. That's not the way to go. Be honest with yourself, be honest about what you want, and understand that sometimes people just aren't going to agree. And you know what? It's fine.